Hello, my name is Travis Ziegler, and I'm here interviewing Chancellor James Dworkin from here at Purdue North Central and Chancellor Tom Keon from Purdue Calumet. I'd like to ask you guys some certain questions, and feel free to elaborate and talk about whatever your heart desires. So just basically, let's start with unification. What are your hopes overall for the entire process?
Well, I would say, Travis, that we really would like to see a stronger university in Northwest Indiana. And one of the ways we'll get there is by having some of the savings we'll see from having one person in an administrative role over both campuses instead of having two people doing the same thing on each individual campus. And we'll then hope that we can take those savings and plow them back into more academic positions and also into better support for students and student services.
Yes, Travis, when I think about it, I try to think about what the university might look like in 25 years. And in doing that, I think it can shape a thinking toward a broader range of what we can be as a university. Northwest Indiana is in dire need of having strong people with a lot of initiative who can get out and create new businesses, create new industries, and rethink what Northwest Indiana is about. And I think that the unification can allow us to build a university of that strength.
And you know, Travis, an interesting point is that both Chancellor Keon's campus and the PNC, about 85% of our graduates stay in the state of Indiana. Many of them stay right here in Lake County, Porter County, and LaPorte County. And so that's why it's so important for us to have a strong university up here and have strong ties with regional industry. And so there'll be a great opportunity for those graduates now and in the future to be able to stay here and have good jobs.
Thinking about before, as a student here at Purdue North Central, I didn't feel like we were really connected with Calumet, and overall I feel like this entire process is really going to bring us together, and we'll be able to communicate with each other, create relationships. Would you guys care to talk about that?
Well, I think that that's absolutely one of the most positive things that can happen. I know that our student government has a concert coming up next week. It's really the first time we've ever had a concert. It's been one of the things I wanted students to think about since I came to the Purdue system. My understanding is that they've reached out to the students on the North Central campus, and I'm hoping that we see a lot of combined efforts like that in the future, so that there's much more we can do by combining all of the students as opposed to going our separate ways.
And I think the students will see many benefits. I really can't think of anything on the negative side, but on the positive side, there'd be many additional classes, many additional programs that maybe are not offered on the PNC or the Purdue Cal campus. And maybe in the past, somebody would not have applied, but now with the combination, they'll say, well, boy, this program is offered at the Purdue North Central campus, or it is offered at the Purdue Calumet campus. So I see a lot of other potential opportunities for students. So I see this as only being very beneficial for students.
There's a difference issue or distance issue between the two campuses.
Yes,
and I was thinking
question.
most recently, like we have the PPC area and then different locations. What do we have besides our two main campuses?
Well, what you said is exactly right, Travis. We have the two main campuses, and Purdue North Central has a small satellite operation in Valparaiso that we call PPC, and they have about 10 acres, and we currently run some undergraduate programs there and the MBA program, but that could be a possibility for the future when we might have some courses there that don't fill on one campus or the other. We might be able to have a course with maybe 10 students from Purdue North Central and 10 students from Purdue Calumet that might meet on that campus.
I think additionally, as you think about our two campuses working together, the state has been wanting us to work more closely with Ivy Tech. And it seems to me that the location in Valparaiso is a great opportunity for us to work with the Ivy Tech Valparaiso campus.
Yep.
And I think that is a wonderful opportunity to have people start at Ivy Tech and easily and quickly move into an integration with Purdue University.
They call those 2+2 programs, and that would be a great opportunity for us, not only for the Ivy Tech in Valpo, but for the Ivy Tech in Michigan City. And they also have Ivy Techs in Lake County, so that would be very useful, I think.
We were thinking randomly about new names for like the overall campus for the two separate ones being one. Have you guys heard of any or thought of any that might be interesting? If you can talk about that.
Well, I think that we've heard a lot. I believe last count
45 or so.
Yeah, we had about 200 last count.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any specific ones that you think would be interesting?
Well, I think it's difficult for us to come up with something without looking at all of the possibilities. One of the reasons we wanted to reach out and get more involvement was because both of us understand that when you get more people engaged, you get better ideas. So neither of us want to come at this thinking that we already have a name. We want to come at it with an open mind. We want to look at the 245 or more that will be available for us to review. So I expect we'll see a lot of good and interesting possibilities.
And the key thing is one university, two campuses. And the one university will be Purdue University something. And there'll always be a North Central campus, and there'll be a Calumet campus as well.
So with that means there's going to be different clubs, different sports teams. We're not going to have just one unique mascot. It will still be the Panthers and Calumets are.
All that is an issue that is yet to be determined. That's down the line. But I think hopefully as we move forward, it will look towards some unification on many of those things. But I mean, I get asked by alumni all the time, are we going to still have an alumni club at Purdue North Central and Purdue Calumet? And just as they do in West Lafayette, they have the big alumni group, and then they have every college, agriculture, management has an alumni group. We'll still have, the more clubs you can have like that, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And then we may have one unified club for students in the future who are, students of the new combined universities. So I think that'll all work out.
Yeah, I think absolutely we will need to have, student activities on each campus. I mean, it does not make sense for us to try to necessarily combine student activities unless they want to combine. But both of us realize that in order to be able to bring quality students to our campus, we'll want to be able to have things that enhance their experience, and having those clubs will enhance their experience. I know we have a strong intramural program for our students that has really grown exponentially over the last 2 or 3 years. And with your new facility, we can work with you to bring many of those same experiences here for the students. And, maybe at some point in time, we might get to a point where there's a campus playoff for indoor soccer.
Sure. I mean, that's a good idea. I was thinking the same thing. With our new building, there'll be all kinds of opportunities for intramurals. And so I don't think somebody's going to want to drive 35 miles to do an intramural basketball game on the Calumet campus if they're going here, or vice versa. And so we could have these intramural events on both campuses, and then it might be fun to have some sort of tournament where maybe like an NCAA, the top 2 teams from each campus can play each other in a round-robin tournament or something like that. So I think it'd be a lot of fun. And what Chancellor Keon said is exactly right. Once we get the student services and activities complex building on this campus, there'll be so many more opportunities for clubs and for these kinds of intramural and also athletic activities right on our campus. And also we'll be able to have our graduation ceremonies right on the campus.
Yeah, it's my hope, too, that people won't look at this 35 miles as a barrier. There are many places in the country, particularly in Northwest Indiana and Greater Chicago, where people go significantly further than 35 miles to work every day. And so I think we need to be constantly thinking about how can we optimize student experience and try to reduce the thinking of 35 miles.
Mm-hmm. We do actually have some students right now, Travis, that when they can't get a class on say, the Purdue North Central campus, they may drive to Purdue Cal and vice versa. But I think the basic idea for the future, we wouldn't expect students on a daily basis to be driving back and forth. But it does, like I said earlier, it increases the possibilities for various degree programs that weren't otherwise available. And I think actually instead of having any kind of deleterious effects to students, I think it's going to be all for the positive. And I think we'll actually see students really enjoy these additional opportunities.
Well, one of the things that I have not talked about a lot, and I actually haven't really talked to Jim a lot about this, but our campus has a significant international student population. And quite frankly, there are a lot of international students that would like to get a Purdue degree. But there are a number of them we've found that, are really not comfortable being in the city. They grew up in a more rural area of their country, and some of them come to us and they find out they're in the middle of a city and they're not as comfortable with that. So I think one of the things that we should probably start exploring early is opportunities to bring international students to the North Central campus. Mm-hmm. One of the things that's viable for us is that, we're close to the South Shore, so our international students can get into Chicago quickly. And likewise, you're close to the South Shore.
Absolutely.
And so I truly believe there could be a great opportunity to expand some of the international students' opportunities on this campus.
I think that's a really good idea. We have we don't have very many students that either are of international status that go here, or any of our students that tend to go and study abroad. And I think all those are really important things in the maturation of a young person. So I'd be all in favor of that. And plus, we have this nice housing right across the street, private housing, so there'd be adequate housing right across the street where people could live. So I think that's a nice idea. Anything else?
Would you guys like to just talk about anything? Whatever you feel like. I'm
pretty much wrapped up. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I think we've covered a lot of detail. I know that, I won't speak for Jim, but the two of us really, truly believe that by the end of this process, we can come out with a very strong Purdue presence in Northwest Indiana. And, my true hope is that we can help become a footstep between West Lafayette, Northwest Indiana, and Chicago. That triangle could do wonders for all of Purdue and can enrich the opportunities for the students.
Yeah, that's well stated. I think the bottom line for me is everything we're trying to do is to enhance and enrich the opportunities for students. And I think by creating this joint operation between Purdue University, Calumet, and Purdue North Central, that's exactly what we're doing. So we'll look forward to talking to you some more, Travis, and keep you updated on what we're doing. We appreciate you being on the Unification Committee.
And I thank both of you for coming and joining this interview with me.
Very good. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Travis.